speaking of where you are in the middleweight division, I don't know if you've seen Israel Adesanya's tweet about you yet.
No.
He said, "I still want to fight Till one day. His striking is beautiful. Stay up, Darren."
Haha. Another good friend. I'm going to have to lay off DMing him for a while. All I do is screaming videos to him and the Instagram message. But I've got a lot of respect for Israel. I think he's a great fighter. You know what? This is no disrespect to him. I think he's probably an easier fight for me than Rob, because we both had that. We'd probably have a great striking battle. Rob's a bit different because he mixes it up. I know Israel. Israel's the champion. He's a great MMA fighter, but he's a pure striker. I think we'd have a great fight. Rob mixed it up a little bit, and he's wild. He's wilder than me, Rob. Like he'll lunge with his head and he'll try and look for. Like he caught me with some cracker shots, and I was just eating them like just for breakfast. Not at welterweight because you know, but. Yeah, we're going to fight. Listen, me and Israel are going to fight one day. Just give me a little bit of time. I'll come back, I'll knock someone out, and we'll fight. Don't worry, I'm still at the top.
What exactly do you see next for you? The middleweight division, you have Adesanya and Costa fighting next. You have a couple of the names trying to get the next shot. You, like you said, you're the champion with or without the belts. But do you see a clear path for you now after this win?
Well, yeah, I'm championship level. I'm ready for a championship fight right now, whenever, tomorrow, last night. It doesn't matter. I'm championship level. That's just the level. I displayed that tonight. That's just the level I'm at. I'm always ready for a championship title shot. That's just me. Honestly, I am championship level. Everyone can see that. Everyone's always known that. I wasn't myself last fight. I believe that. Not to take anything away from him. He's a great striker, but I wasn't myself last fight. I think there's a good win. I'm a champion without the belt, with the belt. Doesn't matter. It is what it is. And I'm looking forward to getting back to work and just seeing how that next fight goes.
If you don't get the title shot right now, which option do you think is the best for you?
To be honest, I don't care. Never have. That's why the UFC like me so much. Because they line them up, I knock them down. That's the plan. I believe as fighters, we shouldn't be picking and choosing who we fight. We just fight who they put in front of us. Eventually, you have to fight them all.
You know, I say this year convincingly, I'm going to be a champion. Just, you know, these are all just little walls that you face. But it's not like a loss that I'm thinking, you know, either man could have won that fight tonight. I was the guy, I was the more powerful guy. I was landing the more powerful shots. Rob was the busier guy. That's just sometimes how the fight is. Some judges could see that the power shots maybe win the fight, and then other judges like tonight seeing that the busier fighter won the fight. So I just think we both won. He obviously won, but in my mind we both won.
I know you've been trying to make Ortega versus the Zombie and Yair versus Zabit. Are either of those fights done, or are you close on either one?
Yeah, we're close.
Okay.
But anyways, to get back to Peter Yan and Aldo, I had you know, Aldo's just so old, man. Like
yeah.
He needs a little bit of oil on his dad.
Do you think it's about time he hangs it up?
I think he needs to hang it up, man.
Yeah.
You know.
And what about Peter? He's got your belt now.
Peter Yan, I call him the Renachamp. He's the Renachamp, man. He's keeping my belt warm. He absolutely sucks, dude. I tell people he wouldn't make it past 2 rounds with the triple C.
Do you really think is he really not worthy of being a champion? Do you really not think he's a good fighter?
No, I think he's a good fighter, but I think there's levels, dude. I think once you go up against a level like mine with the wrestling, when you add the grappling side of it, it changes the game. He's a good striker, but when you add the rest of the pieces, the wrestling, the jiu-jitsu, the grind, the cage work, that's when he's in trouble with me.
Henry Cejudo's been firing off at basically anyone near his weight division, Alex Volkanovski. Have you guys spoke since he retired, and is he potentially interested in coming back?
We haven't talked. Cejudo's retired. I'm not. I told you guys last time, these guys that retire, I don't even think about them again. I'm already moving on to I'm looking at tomorrow night, I'm looking at, what's next, and all this. I'm not thinking about those guys.
Hi, how you doing? Herb Dean here, and want to talk to you guys about Abu Dhabi. Great fights, almost there for a month. A lot of really great fights. A lot of great situations to talk about. My last night, I got to referee some fights. One fight in general, there's a great situation that I definitely want to go over and talk to you guys about. There's a fight that some people say could have been stopped earlier. I think it was stopped late. By no means was that a late stoppage. But I'll go into that later. I'm going to maybe do another video and break that down and give you guys more information on it. Like I told you, I'm going to start giving you guys a little bit more insight into how we make our decisions and our process. But what I really want to get into right now is during the match, someone yelled out, "Stop the fight."
What a knockout!
It's not over.
Come on!
It's not over.
Stop the fight! That's two times!
This is really interesting because there's only professionals there. There's not one fan in the building. Everybody has a job there. Everybody knows what their job is, and they have specific duties. I have a job to referee the fight. One of my duties, me, is to stop the fight when the fighter's taking too much damage. There's two people who are authorized to advise me doing that, to maybe yell out those words, "Stop the fight." There's one, the physician. We have a ringside physician who knows more about the physical body than I do. And he's there to give me advice. If he can't get my attention, maybe he might yell, "Stop the fight." Then there's the fighter's corner. They train with him, they know about him, they know more things about him than I do. They may know something I don't know, and so that's why they would give me some advice to stop the fight. Ultimately, to stop the fight is my decision. So for anyone I don't know who it was who did it because I was looking at the fight, but I heard it, and so I assumed that it was either the two people authorized to do it, the doctor or the corner. After the match, I followed up. I asked the physician. He goes, "No, that fight was fine. I'm perfectly fine with everything that you did in that match." I didn't get a chance to ask his corner, but I asked the inspectors who were in charge of his corner, and they said no, that the corner did not yell out to stop the match. That means it was somebody else, someone there doing another job. This is a very dangerous thing to do. If you put on your Superman shirt and decide that you're the smartest person in the room, and smarter than the physician, smarter than the corner who works with the guy, and smarter than the referee, you're doing a chance that you could bring in information that could do the fighter a disservice. I'm looking at the match. I believe I'm getting information from the people qualified to do it. Under no circumstances would I, even as a referee, get up and yell and tell another referee to stop the match. If I were to do that, I would know it would be a situation where I couldn't live with myself otherwise. I know that there could be consequences, that you'd never see me in that position again, but I would sleep well knowing that I had done that. The bottom line now, I have to look at that match again, not looking at it to know if I should have stopped it early, because it's easy. Anyone who believes it not is maybe just following because someone with a microphone says it should have been stopped. But if you know anything about fighting, the fighter got hurt, fighters get rocked all the time, but we're looking at his actions. He's tracking his opponent. He knows where his opponent is. He's put both arms in between him and his opponent. He's lifted his leg up, head off the mat. He's doing everything I can ask for him to do to stay in that fight. So there wasn't a bad stoppage, and we'll go more into that. But that person who's yelling out, that's almost the same thing as if you would grab a horn and ring the horn as if you're calling the time. It could easily be mistaken for the official horn. If you open your mouth and yell the words, "Stop the fight," it could easily be mistaken for the people who are officially qualified to yell, "Stop the fight." It should never be done. Food for thought.
I know you've been trying to make Ortega versus the Zombie and Yair versus Zabit. Are either of those fights done, or are you close on either one?
Yeah, we're close.